When we talk about a woman, we often speak as if she is fulfilling a fixed position, a neatly defined role in society, a character assigned by tradition. But a woman is not a role, she is a process, alive, evolving, stretching toward her own becoming. To see her only through the lens of expectation is to miss the far greater truth of her unfolding. A woman is not a static idea, she is a movement. She is the quiet force behind transformation, the rhythm that keeps creation from ever becoming still. And when we recognize her as a process, we begin to understand the depth of her presence. She is not reduced by labels like mother, daughter, sister, or wife, though she may embody all of them. These are chapters, not definitions. Her real essence lies in the ongoing dance between what she has been, what she is now, and what she is still capable of becoming. To truly honor a woman, we must honor her evolution. We must allow her the freedom to grow beyond scripts she never agreed to. We must witness her not as a fixed symbol, but as a living journey, expansive, mysterious, and endlessly unfolding. A woman's identity is never a single point on a map. It is more like a river, shifting gently with the contours of the land it moves through. From her earliest memories, she is absorbing impressions, questions, and emotions that shape the quiet architecture of her inner world. Every interaction carries a lesson, and every challenge leaves a subtle imprint on her spirit. She is not meant to remain the person she was yesterday, because life invites her to expand. The identity moves the way seasons change, naturally, inevitably, and always with purpose. As she grows, she begins to understand that identity is not something assigned, but something discovered. Society may try to hand her a script, but she learns that the real story is written by her own becoming. The expectations placed upon her, be gentle, be strong, be quiet, be everything, start to dissolve as she gains the courage to define life on her own terms. She learns that she is not here to fit into a structure built for her convenience. She is here to construct her own meaning, and with every new insight, she steps further into her evolving truth. Experience became her greatest sculptor. The joys she embraces, the losses she carries, the dreams she nurtures, all of them contribute to the quiet reshaping of her inner landscape. A woman is shaped not by perfection, but by participation in life. Her identity strengthens not through certainty, but through engagement. Each moment she survives, celebrates, or questions adds another layer to the tapestry of who she is. She becomes a mosaic of everything she has touched and everything that has touched her. There are moments in her life when she looks back and realizes she has shed countless versions of herself. The girl she once was may feel like someone she knew from far away, not because she lost herself, but because she grew beyond what she once understood. Transformation is not a dramatic act for her. It is a continuous unfolding. She evolves because evolution is her nature, and her identity stretches whenever she encounters something that asks her to become more than she was before. In relationships, careers, and personal journeys, she discovers new shades of herself. Some she expected, others she never imagined. The tenderness she offers, the strength she finds, the intuition she trusts, all emerge when the moment calls for them. A woman is never just one thing. She is the result of thousands of silent shifts that occur inside her. And within those shifts lies her resilience, her depth, and her quiet power to redefine herself again and again. Ultimately, her identity is a living process. It cannot be boxed, pinned down, or fully understood in a single moment. She is fluid because life is fluid. She transforms because life demands transformation. To see her clearly is to recognize her continual becoming. She is not a finished product, nor a fixed persona, but a journey, endlessly evolving, endlessly learning, endlessly returning to herself in new form. Her identity is not a destination, but a dance, and every step she takes leads her toward a deeper understanding of who she is becoming. The roles placed upon a woman often arrive long before she understands their weight. She is taught to be the nurturer, the caretaker, the peacemaker, the one who holds everything together. Yet these roles, though familiar, are not the totality of her being. They are simply expressions she steps into for a time. They are like garments she wears when needed, not the fabric of her essence. A woman's identity is far too expansive to be contained within a single role. What society calls her duty is often just one moment in the much larger movement of her becoming. As she grows, she begins to sense the subtle difference between what she does and who she truly is. She may play the role of daughter, sister, friend, or partner, yet none of these roles define her completely. They are reflections of her ability to adapt, care, and connect, but not the limits of her inner world. When society tries to confine her, telling her what is proper, expected, or acceptable, she eventually recognizes that these expectations are only temporary frameworks. Her soul is not bound by these structures, it simply moves through them, learning what resonates and releasing what does not. A role is never a cage unless she accepts it as one. A role can be a contribution, a gift, or a stage of life she passes through on her journey. She may embrace motherhood, leadership, partnership, or independence. But these expressions evolve as she evolves. The woman who nurtures today may become the woman who leads tomorrow. The woman who sacrifices in one chapter may reclaim herself fiercely in the next. Her fluidity is her strength, and no role, no matter how deeply rooted in tradition, can restrict the expansion of her identity. Society often misunderstands this fluidity. It expects a woman to remain consistent, predictable, and stable in roles that were never meant to be permanent. Yet she is not here to fulfill anyone's idea of consistency. She is designed to shift with time, to respond authentically to the inner calling of her spirit. When a woman steps out of a role, it is not rebellion, it is growth. She doesn't abandon anything. She simply honors the truth that roles are tools, not prisons. She learns that her worth is not in how well she performs a role, but in how deeply she aligns with her evolving self. In relationships and families, she often becomes the axis around which many lives revolve. But even in that central position, she is discovering herself. She can be gentle and fierce, quiet and powerful, supportive and independent. These expressions do not contradict each other. They coexist within her. What society sees as inconsistency is actually the natural rhythm of her transformation. Her ability to shift roles gracefully is not a weakness. It is an art. She doesn't choose between identities. She carries many truths at once, revealing them as the moment requires. Ultimately, the roles assigned to her are merely temporary chapters in a story much larger than what the world tries to script for her. She is not the sum of her titles or labels. She is the consciousness moving through those roles, shaping them with her presence, and letting them go when they no longer reflect her growth. To understand a woman is to understand that her essence exists beyond every label society gives her. She is never confined, only expressed. And every expression is just one note in the vast, ever-evolving symphony of who she truly is. A woman's power is not loud or boastful. It moves quietly beneath the surface of her daily life. Her strength is found in her ability to adapt when circumstances shift, to bend without breaking, and to meet the unknown with a kind of inner flexibility that many overlook. When life presents her with unexpected paths, she does not crumble. She rearranges herself around the challenge. This capacity to adapt is not surrender, it is her way of navigating life with wisdom. She reshapes her energy, her mindset, and her approach, finding ways to move forward even when the ground beneath her feels uncertain. Her evolution is constant. She does not stay the same person she was a year ago, a month ago, or even a moment ago. Life's experiences, both gentle and harsh, push her to expand her understanding of herself. When she encounters heartbreak, she grows a deeper compassion. When she experiences success, she learns greater responsibility. When she faces struggle, she uncovers new reserves of strength she never knew she carried. Every phase of her journey adds another layer to her depths. Her ability to evolve is not only natural, it is essential to the full expression of her being. There is a quiet magic in the way she reinvents herself. A woman can rise from endings as though they were beginnings, redefined, recentered, and renewed. When life asks her to let go, she does not dissolve, she regenerates. Transformation is woven into her nature. She can step out of one identity and gracefully enter another without losing herself. She understands intuitively that creation is a cycle, one that requires faith in what is yet to come. Her renewal is not an act of desperation, but an act of deep inner knowing that she is a continual work in progress. Her creativity extends far beyond artistic expression. She creates emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and relationally. She creates solutions where others see dead ends. She creates harmony in chaos and direction in confusion. She creates opportunities, beauty, connection, and meaning. Her creativity is not limited to what she makes with her hands. It is also what she makes of her circumstances. Even in the face of difficulty, she gives birth to new possibilities. This ability to generate hope, clarity, and resilience from within is one of her greatest sources of power. Because she adapts, evolves, and creates, she becomes the steady center in her own life. She learns to trust her inner voice, even when the world tries to silence it. She understands that growth is not always comfortable, but it is always necessary. Her willingness to change is not instability, it is intelligence. She knows that remaining fixed in one form would only limit her potential. Instead, she embraces the fluidity of her own becoming, allowing herself to stretch beyond who she was taught to be. In this fluidity, she finds her freedom. Ultimately, her power is not found in perfection, but in transformation. She moves through life with an understanding that every experience is an invitation to become more whole, more aware, and more aligned with her truth. She adapts to survive, evolves to expand, and creates to express the fullness of her spirit. Her strength is not a single moment of triumph. It is the continuous journey of reshaping herself with grace and intention. She is not defined by what happens to her. She is defined by what she becomes after it. Respecting a woman begins with recognizing that she is not here to fulfill anyone's checklist of roles, behaviors, or ideals. She is not a blueprint designed for others to approve. She is a process unfolding in her own time. To respect her means to honor her inner world, her growth, and her becoming. It means acknowledging that she has her own rhythm, her own pace, her own pathway to understanding life. Respect is not about directing her. It is about witnessing her. It is allowing her the freedom to shape her journey without demanding she meets predetermined standards. When people place expectations on a woman, they often overlook her individuality. They see what they want her to be, rather than who she truly is. But real respect means stepping back from those assumptions and allowing her identity to breathe. A woman is not a vessel for projections. She is a living, evolving being with her own truth. She does not need to be strong in the ways people expect or gentle in the ways tradition insists. She needs the space to be authentic, even when that authenticity challenges the roles society has built around her. A woman's process is deeply personal. It includes her struggles, her triumphs, her doubts, and her dreams. Respecting her means respecting her timing. She may take longer than others to heal, to decide, or to grow, and that is her right. She does not need to rush to satisfy someone else's definition of progress. When she is given the room to move at her own pace, she unfolds naturally. She learns to trust herself more. She discovers what truly aligns with her spirit. And this unfolding is sacred because it cannot be forced, rushed, or dictated. Respect also requires understanding that a woman will change. Her process involves shedding old versions of herself and rising into new forms of identity. Someone who respects her will not cling to who she used to be or demand she stay familiar. They will support her evolution, even when it leads to unfamiliar territory. They will celebrate her growth instead of fearing it. True respect means embracing her transformation without resistance. It means understanding that her changing is not a threat, it is her nature. Her evolution is a sign of courage, not inconsistency. Through every stage of her process, she carries stories, insights, and emotions that shape her wisdom. Respecting her means listening not just to her words, but to her silence, her intuition, and her boundaries. When she sets boundaries, she is not rejecting, she is protecting her growth. When she expresses her truth, she is not confronting, she is revealing herself. Respect means allowing her to speak without interruption and to feel without judgment. It means valuing her inner experience as much as her outer contributions. It means giving her the dignity of being understood. Ultimately, respecting a woman means honoring the journey she is on, not the expectations that surround her. It means supporting her without trying to control her, loving her without trying to shape her, and recognizing that her dignity comes from within, not from any role she performs. She is a process, a flow, an evolution. To respect her is to honor that ongoing becoming, trusting that she knows how to navigate her own life. It is to see her not as someone to mold, but as someone to witness, fully, freely, and without condition. In closing, we return to the simple truth that has guided every part of this journey. A woman is not a role assigned by society. She is a living process, an unfolding reality shaped by experience, insight, and the freedom to grow. When we look at her through this deeper lens, we begin to understand that her life cannot be reduced to titles, tasks, or expectations. She is a movement. She is a transformation. She is the quiet revolution that happens within a human being who refuses to remain confined by what the world tells her she must be. Throughout this reflection, we've seen how her identity is fluid, shifting with the seasons of her life, shaped by both the joys that lift her and the challenges that test her. She evolves not because she must prove anything, but because evolution is woven into her spirit. She allows herself to outgrow her past selves, to shed what no longer serves her, to rise into new versions of strength and understanding. This is the natural rhythm of her becoming, a rhythm that deserves to be seen, honored, and respected. We also recognize that the roles she carries, daughter, sister, mother, leader, friend, are not cages, but temporary expressions of her depth. These expressions appear and transform as she does. They do not define her, she defines them. A role may end, shift, or expand, but her essence remains far larger than any label society tries to place upon her. When we see her only through those roles, we miss the richness of the soul moving beneath them. Her power becomes undeniable when we witness her ability to adapt, to reinvent herself, and to create new paths from places where others see none. She moves with a kind of inner knowing that guides her through uncertainty. She finds meaning where others might only see loss. She learns how to rebuild from the ground up and emerge stronger, wiser, more aligned with her truth. Her creativity is not limited to art. It extends into life itself, shaping futures that once seemed impossible. And ultimately, to respect a woman is to respect this entire process. It is to give her the dignity of her own pace, the freedom of her own choices, the grace of her own unfolding. Respect means stepping back from expectation and stepping into awareness of her complexity, her timing, and her deeply human journey. It means seeing her not as a symbol or duty, but as a consciousness evolving in her own right. So So as we close, let us remember this. To honor a woman is to honor her becoming. To support her is to support her growth. To uplift her is to give her space to transform without judgment. And to truly see her is to understand that her life is not a performance. It is a sacred, ongoing creation. Thank you. God bless you.